Hi, this is Chia with the Walker team. Today I'm going to be talking about a recent news headline about a potential market crash. Let's get started. I wanted to provide a more long-term view on this particular topic first by providing you a little bit of a trivia. The current housing boom actually started right after the World War II with the GI Bill. The GI Bill allows all the returning GIs to go out and purchase homes. And if you look back in that long view, the only time housing market really dipped significantly was back in 2008. And that was due to two factors. Number one is the loose lending standards back then. Number two, people use their they use their home equity as ATM machines. So there wasn't a lot of financial prudency with that particular practice. So during the 2008 crash, over 9 million homes were underwater, and for homeowners to resolve that situation, they had to sell their homes and take a loss for it. So the million-dollar question is, of course, would the housing market crash like it did in 2008 this year? The short answer is thankfully no. The experts are predicting this year the home value should be appreciating somewhere around the 9% mark. And what's interesting, in our local area in Silicon Valley, that number has already been met from year over to year, from last year to this year. So that's one assurance that you can have about this year's housing market. You may also be wondering, what about the forbearances that started during early COVID times? Great question. Today we have about 700K of mortgage forbearance situation compared to 4.76 million that started in May of 2020. Here we can see the story of the loans exiting forbearance programs. As you can see, as of March 31st, 37% were paid full, almost 45% are on repayment plans, and under 19% are still in trouble. If these poor folks are in a challenging financial situation, they do have something that's different from 2008, which is to sell the home, and most homes have equity built in already, so it wouldn't be an underwater sale. So that's a huge difference. And I want to go back to touch on the lending practice that's been significantly different than the early 2000s. This graphic shows all the risk has virtually been eliminated, and borrower risk is significantly curtailed. As a result, foreclosure activity is at an all-time low because it's harder to qualify for a home loan. Now, the ARM product may be increasing popular as we move forward for the rest of the year as the interest rate going up. But just remember, there's no bad financial product except a misused one. Now, the next potential question you may have is regarding inflation. That's all over the news. With the inflation, how would that impact the home value and affordability, essentially? Let's look at this report from the Fed that looks at the housing mortgage as part of the disposable personal income. In 2007, this was 7.2%. Today, it is much lower at 3.8%. Lastly, let's consider what's going on in our local market here. When we start seeing price reductions, very common in the marketplace, we have to remember this is just a normal adjustment. We came out of a tremendous price appreciation over the last 12 months, and now the market is definitely self-correcting itself. So the appreciation that we felt earlier this year is really coming from the overbidding, the crazy overbidding that we have. So right now, the next neighbor who wants to get the same price as a month ago, they end up pricing it at the current market when it's already correcting. So it's what I call the false appreciation. It's going to take a couple months to kind of sort this out, but it does not mean the market is crashing. What I call this is basically normalizing to where the true value is at. So to conclude, there are numerous factors and facts that do not support a housing crash coming our way. In fact, it's potentially we're just entering a recession period of time or correction. It's depending on the final numbers at the end of the day. But if you were to remember 3 out of the last 5 recessions, housing prices did not change. In fact, they actually go up. So, in conclusion, housing is still a fantastic investment for your financial future. If you are curious of how to make that a reality, please reach out to me, and I'm here to help. Until next time, live well.